Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you. And as always, you can see our programs on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's Channel 18. And before we forget it, we want to thank our sponsors, and that's Embers Ice Cream of Pikeville, Nickel Row Antique of Pikeville, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast. And today we have with us Miss Christy Barker and at the high school, and she's the Student Career Development Center Coordinator.
Yes.
I got that right?
You got that right.
Well, Christy, it's good to have you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And first, let's just talk about your program that you're over. Tell us a little bit about it. It just got started last year, is that right?
It was started last year, and it is a grant-funded program sponsored with the Innovative High School Models grant that the Department of Education is doing. We're one of 21, I believe it is, systems or high schools that receive that grant. Everybody's running something new and innovative within their high schools, and implementing that career center was how they saw fit to be innovative in our school and fit the needs of our student and our community.
Well, what all do you do in your program?
So we wear a lot of hats. We run an intensive work-based learning program. We also help support our CTE teachers. We support our students with their choices of what their next step is going to be, and we try to create the best connections available for those students to allow them to kind of get an early head start on success through internships, through paid work experience, through coaching, through college search, application building, resume building, anything that's going to help that student find that success at the next step.
Oh, yes. So that means either whether they're going to step into work or go on to college, you're there to help them in whatever decision they make.
Absolutely. It's a judgment-free zone on what they choose to do, and we just meet them where they are and say, how can we help you be the most successful that you can be and give you the best opportunity of doing well straight out of high school, whether that be, like you said, going into the workforce, going into a technical program, a 2-year program, a 4-year program, just whatever their choice is, we try really hard to support that and help them find that success.
And it seems like there's more choices out there today with the technical being a big part now.
Right.
That's a big issue because a lot of people, college may not be their line of work. They may not want to go the college path, but going to a technical school to learn a trade might be the easier way.
Well, and I think we need to start also educating our students and our community on embracing different career paths, because it takes every career path to make our society work, and really seeing the value in all of those components that they may choose, whether it be a technical program or straight into the labor force at one of our local businesses or into a 2-year or 4-year program, that each of those jobs is valuable in our society.
Right. And you mentioned like resumes. I know that was always hard for me to come up trying to make sure I had everything and didn't want to overload it. So that that's really hard for anybody to do.
It is, and we've found though that students, even after they've graduated, they're coming back saying, hey, can you look at my resume again? Can you work on that? And Kimberly Wilson, who is our work-based learning instructor under our umbrella, does a lot of work on resumes, and I can't tell you how many she helped other students put together last year, and it's been very beneficial. She's an asset for that program.
Well, there's many people out in the workforce, that's all they do is put together resumes. That's what they do. And it always helps to have a good resume, so that helps the students.
Absolutely.
And of course, a lot of students, I know when I was about ready to graduate, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I knew I wanted to go to college, but I wasn't sure in life, and I'm sure a lot of them are that way today.
They are. We offer aptitude tests, interest inventories, just one-on-one discussions looking at, do you like to work inside or outside, or where are the things that you like to do? Are you math-minded? Are you language-minded? What are the things you enjoy? And then we look at options for that. And then we also let them know that if they don't know what they want to do, that's okay. That we can explore some things, we can try some different things, and we can possibly help them find an area of interest. But if they don't know yet, that's okay. Let's get work experience. Let's start building some skills to let them be successful once they do know what they want to do. But we, don't want to force someone to decide something that might not be their best path.
Right, and then you need students, especially high school students who are getting into their first job or second job, whatever. They need to know basic skills of
Right.
just what a manager or owner would expect out of them.
Right. Right. We work on, I think it's termed soft skills. We call those professional skills. So, what does it take? What is an employer looking for? And we try to kind of flip that script a little bit. What would you want? Or as a customer, what is the type of service you might want?
Right.
And so we look at some of those skills, and we have a lot of just discussion about that, of what that looks like. And we can also go in and help, I guess you call it, remediate with those students if an employer or an intern partner, some of our business partners say, hey, the student's really lacking this, or they'd be a great worker, but they're on their phone a little too much. And we go in and kind of work on that and reinforce those good work habits and good work skills.
I know, just talking about the phone, I've seen in many places where I've been, employees on the phone, I'm thinking, I still haven't got my food yet, or I still haven't
Right.
got whatever I was, and so that people do see that.
People do see that, and sometimes it's a learning curve from going from a high school environment or a hangout with friends environment into a work environment.
Right.
It's a little bit of a learning curve, but most of them want to do well and want to make those adjustments. They just need to be reminded of what those adjustments need to be.
Well, how do students get into your program?
So they don't have to be in my program to get to be served by our office.
Okay.
They can walk in and say, hey, I'm interested in finding a part-time job. Can you help me? Or I need a resume. Can I schedule an appointment to come in and work on that? So they don't have to have part of any program to be served by our office.
Oh, okay.
They can strictly just walk in. We have a lot of students that will email and schedule appointments. We also host workshops during the day that students can attend if they want to, and they don't have to be part of the program for that. If a student wants to participate in those what we call immersive experiences like internships or paid work experience, then they are signed up for a class called work-based learning, and it is a credit-bearing class. They meet in the classroom once a week, and then they're in those internships or paid work experiences the other days. I mean, we work very closely with all of our business partners and really building those skills for those students.
Well, that's good because, like you said, a lot of students who are still in high school, they're not sure what they want sometimes.
Right. And so some of those, if they're really unsure, then we can try different internships throughout the semester. But some interesting, great things are coming along too. We have a pre-apprenticeship memorandum of understanding, an MOU with Komatsu. It's a new program they've developed this year where we're allowed to send 2 students over for pre-apprentice training in welding or industrial maintenance. And they're actually paid while they do that, and they go 2 hours of the school day, and then they work after school for 2 hours. And they have that opportunity then to move into their full apprenticeship program and possibly be hired on with Komatsu.
Well,
so you'll find a lot of business and industry are starting to move to that model to grow their own labor force.
Right. Well, they come from the high school level. I mean, when they get out of high school, they're either going to, they go to work or go to college.
Right.
And so that's good for the companies, because sometimes companies are, especially skills like welding, not everybody can weld.
Right.
So and we have that program at the high school now. So that helps our students get better jobs.
Right, absolutely. It's a win-win for everyone, honestly. Everyone benefits from it. Our students benefit from it. Our programs at school benefit from it, and the businesses benefit.
Now, how long does you said this was a grant? Is there a time period on this program?
Well, this is the last year of this first grant cycle. It was a 2-year grant cycle, so we are hoping to be grant funded through 2026. But all of that is not approved yet. So we're taking it 1 year at a time and making all the difference that we can make, and hopefully we'll become invaluable and they'll keep us forever. But it's a great service, though. It helps the community, it helps the students, it helps the school. It's just a good common sense approach to education.
Well, that's true because, like I say, you have children who, and I call them children, but they don't, some of them don't know what they want to do because they're just not sure in life.
Right.
And probably you and I didn't when we got out of school. We just wanted to do whatever.
Right. But, and we can also find really great opportunities for students who do know what they want to do. We've worked with some of our business partners in the community for engineering internships. That student knew for a fact. Vet tech students who are now enrolled in the vet tech program at Chattanooga State were able to intern and get some great hands-on experience and some great business connections in those fields. So we really get to hit all ends of the spectrum, from the student who doesn't know what he or she might want all the way to the student who says, I know for a fact I'm going to be a pediatrician in life. I have my my college picked out. I am set. I know I'm going to do this. And then we can find those placements to give them that real life exposure to what that environment looks like.
Well, that's really good, because I know probably when you and I were growing up, and of course you're younger than me, yeah.
Not much.
But we didn't have necessarily that help to get us, and so we just kind of had to do everything on our own, or our parents maybe had to help us out some, but we didn't have someone that could actually sit down and say, hey, here's some options.
Right. And I think our culture has shifted a good bit, and more is expected at the high school level from the state. Students are expected to get industry certifications while still in high school, and dual enrollment classes and college credits, and that is just the new expectation, that is the new high school experience, where we got that as college students or post-secondary in some form. And so now the services to help make the match of making those opportunities beneficial has to be there as well. And so I think that's why there is such a need for a career center in every high school.
Well, and that provides another interest for students who maybe think, I'm here to I can't do math, or I'm not good at English, or whatever. And that the old way, you just had 4 years of all those classes and you didn't have any options. But now this gives you an opportunity to say, hey, I might like that.
It does, and it really gives a lot of students something to look forward to. By senior year or by junior year, if my attendance is pretty good and I'm doing, I'm passing my classes or doing well in my classes, here's this opportunity where I can actually get out doing what I want to do career-wise, and I'm not in a traditional classroom setting all day, every day of all 4 years, where they have that opportunity to start practicing some of those things.
Right, so. And it may be that when they get into it, they say, no, this is not really what I want to do, and maybe I need to do something else.
And don't you think that's as valuable as knowing what you do want to do, is learning what you don't enjoy or what might not be right for you? So they figured that out early, and they've not wasted that time, really.
Right.
So they've gotten that exposure and experience and understanding at an earlier age than we might have.
Because many people get a job and they hang in that job, it's only because, and they don't like it, but it's a job and they have to depend on the paycheck, so to speak. Right. Whereas this gives them opportunities to find out.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's just great. Now, who all helps you? I know there's some other people you have with your program.
So, right now, it is Kimberly Wilson, who is the work-based learning instructor, and myself. Angela Hart was with us last year, but she was not able to come back this year, so we'll also typically have an office manager in there with us. And I hope in the next several years we can grow our program to need additional staff. That's a goal of mine, is to keep growing this program. And we work very closely with Ms. Boynton, our guidance counselor, with our freshman facilitator, our new dean of students, and our administration at the high school. We all work very closely together. Right.
Well, I know, and of course we have a limited trade skills, but a lot of areas have vocational schools, attached to their schools. So that could be something maybe in the future we could give an opportunity to help with your where they could learn, and then they could decide whether they like it.
Absolutely. And people probably might not realize this, we have 9 current career technical paths housed within our high school right now.
Oh, really?
We actually have 9 programs, which is, for a student body of 650 roughly this year, that's a large percentage of our student body actually chooses that, from mechatronics and industrial maintenance, engineering type of pathway to computer applications and entrepreneurship is a path we have. We have criminal justice has begun this year.
Well, that's good.
And then the hands-on, the agriculture, the horticulture and the animal side of the agriculture. We have welding and construction and maintenance and light repair, which is our automotive pathway. So we have, I've probably left someone out, but we have several that people probably don't realize we have. So we're trying to do a good job of promoting that and educating our upcoming students and our parents on the opportunities that do exist in that.
Well, those programs you mentioned, like the robotics or mega, that's real popular right now with a lot of people.
Yes.
And a lot of people enjoy that.
Right.
And I know some high school students right now that's what they told me, says that's what I want to do.
Well, we hope to also the gentleman that teaches that, the instructor for that program, is going to set up some expos where they have some of the robots that they've built do some expos, possibly at a basketball game or at a parent conference night, and be able to promote, but to be able to show what the students are able to work on.
Well, and that gets the community involved, and then they say, well, hey, we've got a good high school.
We do have a good high school.
Yes,
we have a lot to offer.
We
have
do.
a lot of teachers who really care about their students and want to see what's best for them.
Right, and when you get everybody working together, then more and better things come.
Absolutely.
So I'm tickled about that program. Now, right now, roughly, do you have a certain number of students that get involved, or roughly, or
In a career technical program or in the Career Center itself?
in the Career Center itself?
Last year we served 80 different students within our work-based learning and internship. We directly impacted close to 400 students through workshops, through walk-in counseling services, that type of thing. So it was an extremely busy first year. This year for first semester, I believe we have 42 students enrolled for first semester for just the work-based learning program. And my schedule is already booked for workshops and going in and talking to the classes about the opportunities that are coming up and how to get there and what they need to do and start preparing so they are eligible to do these things later on.
And does it start in a certain grade? Do they have to be in a certain grade level before they get into your program?
Juniors and seniors.
Juniors
and seniors, but it doesn't mean that they can't work toward it as freshmen and sophomore. But they can build those credits starting in their junior year.
Oh, okay.
And they need to be 16 to be driving age, work age, those types of things to make the best benefit.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Let's see. Well, have you had any local businesses that have come in and said, hey, we want to help with your program?
I have had amazing support from our businesses. That we have not had a single business that we have called on that has not been willing to work with us.
Really? Well.
We have had multiple businesses say, hey, what can we do? How can we help? Or we would love to have an intern work with us. This is what we have to offer. And so it's been amazing. I could give you a laundry list of local employers that have offered their services or partnerships.
Well, that's really neat, because I've known for years this community gives.
Yes.
I mean, it's just in their heart to give. They don't think twice about doing it.
Yeah. And what's really nice now is I feel like we are able to, in this partnership, make it a true partnership, because now we're able to give back more. And through those, say with our engineering student, there is a really good chance that engineering student will come back to that business where she interned. Because that was a great place. She learned a lot. It's a great opportunity because she would like to come back to the Valley to live after school. And we don't want our students leaving because there's not opportunity.
Right.
If they want to leave, that's their choice, but we don't want them leaving because they feel like they don't have the opportunity. And the way our businesses have opened up for our program, it's allowed our students to see what great opportunities do exist here.
Yeah, that's really neat, because this area is growing, and many people are moving into the area, and other new businesses are coming in, and so there's a lot of things that offered now that weren't offered a few years ago.
Absolutely. And all of the employers, and they're just very generous. But it's nice to be able to give back and say, how can we help you now? And so we've helped some of the smaller businesses with staffing. We've vetted potential employees for a couple of different new businesses that have come to town, and we've worked with training with our students with those and partnered in those. So we're able to give back now, and that's a really nice feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It helps you, it makes you feel good because of what you do and the success you see.
Right.
Well, that's really neat. I think we've covered about everything that I was going to ask. Is there anything we've left out that maybe you want to?
The only plug I would make, and it's a shameless plug, I will tell you that if there is anyone watching that would like to partner with us, I would love to meet them. I would love to set up a time to have some discussion and see how we could work together. We have only great growth to be made in this program and with our community and our partners, and I would, if anyone has an interest, I would love for them to get in touch with me. They can email me at the high school. They can call the high school, 949-2154, and ask for me, and it's Christy Barker. I would love that. See how we can keep growing together.
Well, good. Well, thank you for being with us today, Christy.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And I've learned a lot from your program, and I look forward to seeing it grow.
Thank you. I appreciate your
And-
having us on here.
And hopefully that grant will continue.
I sure hope so too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, folks, you can see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber Cable Channel 18. And again, a reminder of our sponsors, Embers Ice Cream of Pikeville, Nickel Roll Antique of Pikeville, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast. So until next time, have a great day.